Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Three Stuff Mums Viral Edition. We're up to episode 9. One more until we're 2 whole hands. So that's very exciting.
Ooh, I didn't know math was involved.
I'm just glad because I can count that far. But if you haven't joined us before, hello. My name is Kate. I am self-isolating at home with children, so I am physically stuffed.
I'm Maggie. I'm working from home, so I'm mentally stuffed.
And I'm Kehao, and I'm stuck at home with my husband all the time, so we're about ready to tell each other to get stuffed.
And we're the Three Stuff Mums!
Yay! Say hello to everybody watching us live tonight. We've got Irene and Rod have left us a comment, so hello to you guys. And if you're watching, please leave us a comment. Let us know where you're watching us from tonight. And also, Kay-How. Oh, and a special hello if you're watching the replay, but also, Kay-How, it's a very special week this week. Do you want to tell us a little bit more about that?
And actually, Rod reminded me of that. It is National Volunteers Week. And volunteers, let's see, there's about, the last count, there's about a third of Australians who do some type of volunteering. And the monetary value, a company put monetary value on that at a little over $25 an hour. So when you multiply that by the number of hours, the number of people who are volunteering for all kinds of stuff, not just people like that are in the CFS or the RFS or people who are volunteer firefighters, but also people who are helping out at charities, doing, the ladies at the op shops, helping the fire stations raise money, or the people who are working, just delivering meals or reading stories to kids, or and all the different ways that people volunteer to help each other out. And this week is their week. So we salute you, the volunteers of Australia, because you, or anywhere, wherever you are, if you're this, and whatever city you're at, thank you for doing such a wonderful job. Without you, we'd be far.
We'd be stuffed.
We'd be stuffed. Yes, we'd be stuffed. Because I used to volunteer when I was living in Mount Pleasant, at the Natural Resource Center, and they have a recycle place there as well. And so many people come in, a lot of farmers and stuff come in and get information. And we maintained a library of stuff, as well as a recycling center for the community and a community garden. So all that really contributes. All these little projects that people get involved in make a big difference. So
it's true. I was a volunteer.
Thank you to everyone.
I was a volunteer for the Adelaide Theatre Guide for 11 years, and only stopped because of kind of life circumstances changed. But thoroughly loved my time. Would love to dive back in there, should circumstances allow. Just to see the life that theatre gives to people in South Australia, the audiences, the cast, the crew, the producers and the directors, and that's both the professional and community theatre. So there's a huge amount of life in the arts in South Australia that we need to keep promoting and we need to support.
Yeah, a lot of, when you figure a third of Australians are volunteering, that's a tremendous amount of people giving a lot of time, valuable time, to help each other out, all different kinds of ways. I mean, some people are just doing some admin work for a charity, or they're helping stuff envelopes, all those kinds of things.
Yep.
Keep the wheels turning for all kinds of profit and nonprofit things. And like you say, the arts as well. So many people, I know a lot of comics volunteer for fundraisers for good causes and stuff like that. So it goes across the board.
Yeah.
So thank you, all the volunteers.
Well done. And I think, and I just wanted to say a quick shout out to everybody at the Rainbow Room at Wollonga Waldorf School, because they are a great group of volunteers there that I volunteer with. And also a special shout out to the McLaren Vale Biodiversity Project, because they plant all the trees around the vineyards and make our wine even better. So yay for you guys.
Thank you.
Not that we're being selfish on the alcohol thing. We're just, want to tell you that there are volunteers everywhere, is what you're saying. You don't actually, you may be working with, you may have in your job, you may have people working with you, and you don't realize that really they're just volunteers and they're helping to create the whole thing that goes on. So
do you the volunteers that I find, like there's so many that are helpful, but the ones that I find particularly helpful are the women and men in the hospital who show you around and
Yes.
get you to the right places. Like, I'd still be walking around the walls of Flinders Hospital if it wasn't for those people.
I have no sense of direction. They've saved me more than once from embarrassing myself.
Exactly. I think we'll wrap this up with a beautiful comment from Rod. 3 cheers for volunteers. So
yay!
Rod, so well done. Alrighty, so we've got a big show lined up for you tonight. We've got our Isovations, we've got Are You Ready to Mumble? And Maggie's doing a fantastic one tonight. A little bit of a literary bent on it tonight.
Well.
So we're looking forward to that. And then we've also got Go Ask Your Mothers, and we're going to finish up with Bingeables. But first of all, let's get on with the show. Kay-How, let's introduce us to our first segment, please.
All righty. We're going to be a little bit different tonight, so everybody with me, give me an I, give me an S, give me an O-V-A, give me a T, give me an I, give me an O-N-S. Isovations!
Hey!
Whoa, how do we follow that?
I have no pom-poms. I need someone to volunteer to make me some.
We need to say, you've got the feather boas from our fringe shows.
Are you kidding me? Those feather boas were balding by the time we were finished with them.
They were poor things. They were just they left their mark everywhere.
As we used to call them, the chooks.
Yeah, they were looking like plop chooks at the end.
And then whoever was on the whoever was stage managing had to like clean all the feathers.
I know, feathers everywhere. God.
All right, so we've got any observations for this week. Maggie, have you seen anything or noticed anything different this week?
Well, there's one thing that stood out for me this week, and it's good when you learn stuff. And I have learned that my whole life I have been pronouncing a very common word wrong.
Oh.
Yeah. And the person who taught me has been Donald Trump, because apparently you don't pronounce the country name China like China. Apparently you pronounce it like China. China.
That's because his face looks like a cat's bum. It comes out different.
China.
Oh, please, I can't.
And it's like, and there's a.
So
you arrange your lips, and it's China. So that's been my big takeaway for this week.
Fabulous. Nice. What about yourself, Kay? How have you had any observations?
I got nothing.
You got nothing?
I got nothing. I'm in my house. I'm doing nothing. I see nothing. I see nobody. I got nothing.
I don't know that have I said anything this week? I don't know. I think that one of the things that I've isolated is that I'm just starting to get quite into the swing of it all. And it doesn't even seem weird to stand far apart from everyone now, and it's just like, whatever. So
yeah, it's gonna be a bummer to go back. It's like, ew.
Yeah,
it's like when the Catholic Church. It's like when Mass went from Latin to English, and they started doing that. Oh, let me embrace you. Don't touch me. Just come to Mass to touch you. Get out of here. It's gonna seem weird. Ooh, too close.
Yeah, we were talking about going back to the office today, and because it will happen at some point, and everybody was saying, quite happy where I am, thanks.
Yeah. People are going to be, we don't want to go back.
Yeah.
Do we have to?
Do we have to?
Do we have to? Then Wendy Weiner, I don't want to go back. It'll be 3-year-olds. I don't want to.
I'm just sharing this one with you. Rod's had an observation this week. A man on the tram today was wearing a face mask and gardening gloves. A+ for multi-purposing his gloves.
He's spreading manure all over the place, and he's just losing the point of cleanliness there with his gardening gloves. Good on you. Creative. That's what we want. That's what's happened in isolation. People are getting much more creative about stuff.
Oh, they totally are. They totally are.
I don't think we should stop going out dressed up on bin day. I think we should keep that as that should be like a thing. You know what I mean? Get all dressed up and go out on bin day.
Well, we've seen some people on Facebook, they've been saying, so do you guys in Australia always dress up like this for bin day? Or is it just been through the pandemic?
Yeah. I haven't been working on the ships. I got all these gig clothes that I can't use. So I'm like, all right, hit the lights, camera, action. Da, 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 da. Sure, I do it all the time.
But that whole dressing up for bin day is also actually a really sneaky way to keep check of if you're going to fit into your clothes when you get to go out again.
True.
That's right, yeah. They're saying elastic waists are going to be the thing for quite some time.
Yep, the old ladies have got something going on there.
Yeah.
You have to start bedazzling all your trackies, just a little sequins and a little fluff and fold there. It'd be really good.
Look like 90s rappers.
Yeah.
With the big saggy crotch.
Oh.
Out there cleaning up after your dog. Who are you? I'm Poop Doggy Dog. Bizarre.
All righty, ladies, we're getting a big show to get through tonight. So it is time for the big segment of the day. Are you ready to mumble? Take it away, Maggie.
Well, tonight's mumble, it came from an original idea by Kate, because Kate was talking about the very famous Doctor Seuss book, Oh, the Places You'll Go, which a lot of the kind of millennials and Gen Zs have, they do it at Coachella, Oh, the Places You'll Go. So Kate thought it might be a nice idea if we had a COVID version. So she tasked me with this. So please, may I present to you, with apologies to Dr. Seuss, No Places to Go. All right. Congratulations. Today is your day. You're living in ISO, keeping Corona at bay. You have wind in your guts. You have fat in your belly. You're stuck in the sofa, addicted to telly. You're living alone or with people you know, but in quarantine times, there's few places to go. You'll go to the shops. You'll take a big chance, but they're not social distancing. They're like farts in a trance. With your head full of fear, if you hear someone cough, you'll abandon the trolley and run the fuck off. At least you're not like those miserable misers who stockpiled bum paper and hand sanitizers. But out there, things can happen. Just a cough or a shoo. Dodging the Rona is the best you can do. And then things start to happen, but don't worry, don't stew. Get the flu jab, get Netflix, Foxtel, and Stan too. Oh, the places you'll go. You'll start in the bedroom, then visit the loo. You might have a shower and do some laundry too. You'll visit the lounge, you'll visit the kitchen. You'll try to pretend that you can't hear them bitching. You'll catch up with friends, but play it real smart. Socially distanced, 2 meters apart. And then we can gather in groups going further, because they'll raise the restrictions to reduce any frictions. And we'll slip to the gym and tiptoe to the cafe, the pools and the bars. That should keep us all happy. But if we start coughing, if we start sneezing, aching and shaking and sniffling and wheezing, then bam! You'll be back there in ISO as fast as you please, living in solo because of a sneeze. You pray it's not COVID. You pray it's a cold. Get a swab up your nostril and then wait to be told. And you'll start again with no places to go. Welcome to life in the damn COVID tango. Thank you.
Yeah!
And I'd just like to give a big shout out to Francis and Graham in Scotland, because poor old Graham's got COVID, but he's all right. He's getting better.
Oh, wow.
Oh, wow. All righty.
Glad to hear that he's on the mend.
Yes. That was hilarious, Mags. That was so good.
Oh, thank you.
That was a great reading too.
And you even managed to rhyme cafe with happy.
I've got a Scottish accent. It's works differently for me. Happy with happy.
I was like, well done.
Well done.
Oh, we've got lots of people saying, well done, Maggie. We've got Rod and Kylie and Lynn saying, well done.
Thank you.
And Stephen Woods even said, read the wonky donkey for us. So maybe we'll put that in there. We might have to put that in a request for later on. And we've also said, Kylie says, very clever, love it. Thank you, Kylie. So,
It was wonderful. Well done. I enjoyed that.
Oh, that was so fun. All righty. So
we need to get Stephen, because he's an artist as well. You need to get your husband on illustrating that.
Oh, that's an idea. There's a challenge for you, Stephen. I know you're in the kitchen watching this, so.
That would be cool. And then we could do like the Noni Hazelhurst when she read Go the F to Sleep. You could have the you could have the COVID version of this. That would be great.
It's a winner.
Kylie Berg has just asked if maybe you could read Maggie Brenda's Beaver.
Brenda's Beaver needs a barber.
Is that a book?
You know what? We're gonna start getting requests for like story time or something. It'll be like kindergarten playtime here. All right, boys and girls. Tonight's
but
story
it's the mother's version, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's from her point of view.
We'll have to get your book out again, Kate.
I don't even know. I haven't got one handy, but yes, we can read.
I know it's on my comedy bookshelf. It is.
I'm feeling very privileged that it's in the comedy section. That's good.
Of course. Actually, I have two. I could give you one back. You could.
No, I've got plenty. I've got a couple of hundred in the shed. Oh, good, thanks. Oh, all right. I think that's a good time to lead into our next segment for tonight. So, hang on. We're going to go ask your mothers. So the Three Stuff Mums is a viral edition. We answer the questions that the dads are too scared to answer. So when kids ask curly questions of their parents, often the response from a dad is, go ask your mum. So we are answering those tough questions tonight. So our question for tonight is, ladies, how would mothers handle the pandemic if they were in charge?
I think Mother Nature has already done a good job doing that. She just sent everyone to their room. Get in there until you get in your room.
She totally did. And I think also just that I think mums have this sixth sense of just like getting a really good sense of when their kids have just completely lost their crap and they just need to calm down and relax. And I think that Mother Nature's done that as well. She's just like, go to your rooms, just have some relaxed time, just chill out, come back when you're feeling better. So I think that's part to do with it too. Have you got any thing you'd like to add, Maggie, for that?
Well, I just think like to add to that kind of that angle to the story, that Mother Nature is also telling us to stop breathing on your brother.
Yeah. Stop touching me. Stop touching me. Stop touching me. Stop touching her.
You look to me. Stop looking at him.
Yeah. Stop touching me. Stop touching me.
Oh.
I think though it's there's been a Facebook thing going round where like the countries that have been led by women, so is it Finland, Germany, and New Zealand, are all the ones that are like miles ahead of everybody else in getting the country better again.
Because nobody listens to Dad. Dad will get up and say, we should do this, and then like Nobody listens. You ought to ask your mother how to do stuff. Like, Mom said I have to do that. Mom said, no dinner for you. No, I have to go to the grocery store. Yeah. Plus, moms brook no denial. Fathers are used to being ignored. Mom's like, what did I tell you? We're not doing that, are we? No,
because mums have different tones of voices. You know by your mum's tone of voice, not by her words, where she's at. You know that thing that I'm at the end of my tether? Well, you can tell by her voice how close she is to the end of that particular tether. And I think Mother Nature is, you know, she's at that, I'm angry, but I'm keeping it. Just go to your rooms. Just don't talk to me. Just do what you're told. And the next level to that would be full on, wow.
Yeah, which she also has done. There's been some unbelievable weather happening. Get back to your caves.
but she also has been completely ignored for the last 100 times she's been speaking. So that's probably completely on track with mums as well. It's like, say something 50 times, and then on the 55th time it's like, oh, fine, we'll listen.
That's right. Yeah. I will not tell you again.
Yeah, I think that's the ultimate mom's what do you call it? The ultimate mom's ultimatum there. All right. It's either you do what I say or you all die. What is it that you want? Oh, we'll go.
Take it or leave it.
Yeah.
I do think though that just reading that question again, how would mothers handle the pandemic if they were in charge? I reckon if mums were in charge of it, there'd be a fair chance that we wouldn't have all agreed to stay home. Because it's like I agree the whole social distancing thing. I just don't agree with it all being in the house because I've just cleaned the kitchen and now it's filthy dirty and I can't clean anything. So I think if mums had their choice, we would have all been self-isolating outside the house and maybe gone on like month-long camping trips with Dad.
Yeah, or even self-isolating at 5-star resorts somewhere warm.
Yeah.
I can handle that.
I think they needed to give us a little bit more time to think through the whole self-isolating thing as to where we wanted to be when we were self-isolating. Like I think there's a bit of a trend with people who are expecting babies that they go on a bit of a baby moon, so that they go on their last, like it's sort of like a honeymoon, but it's the last holiday that they have pre-kids. I think what they should have done for this is they should have had a pandemic mum moon or something where like all the mums fly to Bali and they can't get back because of the travel restrictions, and good luck everyone, we're here for the next couple of months, blood pool with cocktails, and we'll see you when we get back.
Yeah, you have reached you're on your own portion of the day, we're out. Yeah,
so we're going to learn some life skills without me.
I think one of the reasons why women leaders do better at this kind of stuff is because they're used to dealing with trying to get cooperation from large groups of people. They're not antagonistic. They're like, what is the best for everybody mentality. So you tend to get the best out of people when you expect them to all do their best. So I think that's the mother's knack for doing that kind of stuff, because you got to get everybody to work together. Like my grandma had 10 kids and everybody was very well organized in that house. 8 girls, 2 boys. They ate all of my aunts and my mother. They cooked, they sewed, they crocheted, they knitted, they kept house like you could run a white glove through. I mean, everyone was totally organized on what to do. The boys did the garden, they did the yard, they did all the hard work, all the muscle work and stuff like that. It was like everybody was like boom, boom, boom. You had it all organized, and that was it, And I think women are much more used to getting people organized to do stuff. And they don't put up with this. What do you mean you don't want to do that? What did I just tell you to do? You want something to whine about? I'll give you something to whine about.
And I think women have got the good look. Like they can say so much without saying a thing often, with just that evil eye or the look.
and you know what? Fathers have not learned to master the guilt trip that mothers do. You know what I mean? once you've mastered that guilt trip, that is like mental control already. You don't even have to do anything. Once you put that in place, you just have to, you call them by their entire name. You already know you're in trouble. If you have to go, if you have to use your entire name, you are screwed. You hop to it and do whatever you have to do because you know what's coming next. So I think there's all those tricks that mothers have that fathers don't have, because fathers generally get a bit confused about things. But mothers always know, no, we're not doing that. We're not? Okay, that's good. Yeah. Guilt
you've won.
Crucial. Guilt is a crucial skill for motherhood.
Guilt is a good tool for mothers, but it's so damaging. It's like for everyone else. So I think if we can leave the guilt at home, that'd be good.
Yeah. I'm halfway between what the two of you are saying, because I think you need to be able to maintain the upper hand for when the circumstances dictate. And especially even if you're having girls these days, but if you've got boys who are all going to be very much taller than you and much more powerful than you very shortly, you need to be able to maintain some semblance of power. So I've found that the best thing to do was start quickly, start early. And the ultimate weapon in any mother's vocabulary was the phrase, I feel disappointed.
Yeah. I'm not mad. I'm just disappointed.
Just disappointed.
Do you know what? I prefer that you would be yelling and very mad than disappointed.
Well, see, so would they. Because then they can retaliate, but they can't retaliate against that.
My mother was old school. She used everything. The hairbrush and the guilt. So it was like wham, wham.
Oh, that's like double whammy.
Yeah.
Tell us about your nana. What did she used to, or grandma? What did she used to use for discipline?
Oh, yeah, your gran.
Oh, yeah. She used to use a hibiscus switch. Now, for those of you that have hibiscus, you know that the stems are very thin and very flexible, and they sting like crazy when they hit you. It's like very whip-like. It's like, and she could catch you from across the room. You wouldn't even know what's coming. You'd just be, oh, Jesus Christ, She could just sitting there like, what? As the welts start to develop. Yeah. So you can't do anything because that's your grandma. What are you going to do,
Just say to grandma, I'm very disappointed in you.
Yeah. Oh, no, that would get a worse one.
No, reverse psychology.
It never works going up the power line, only coming down the power line.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. That's not good. You're talking people with like 3 generations of experience. You had no chance. You had no chance.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Well, let's move on to our last segment of the night. We are talking about Bingeables, ladies. So what are the things that we have seen over the last week or last couple of days that we would like to suggest you binge on? So this can be food or television shows or books or recreation or anything like that. What have we got? Maggie?
Well, I was telling Kate and Kay about this post that I'm going to put up on the Three Stuff Mums page, because I've been watching The Last Leg, which is the TV show with and I can never remember the 2 guys' names, but Adam Hills fronts it, and it's in the UK. Josh Widdicombe and something Brooker.
Dave. I don't know.
Dave.
Yeah.
Bob.
Anyway.
Is it Alan? Alan.
No, it's not Alan.
No, it's not Alan.
I can't remember his name.
Steve.
Yeah, I can't remember his name either.
Anyway, somebody Google Last Leg for me and tell me what the guy's name is, because I feel bad because I can't remember.
Just while waiting for that, Kylie Jacobs just said she's just finished Netflix. That's impressive.
All of Netflix, everything on Netflix, every single program, every single docu-series, every comedy, every drama, every horror show. My God, woman.
Every trailer.
All right, so we're still waiting to find out who the last person on The Last Leg is. But Maggie, what are we going to say about them?
The point of the story is, we're our production costs we were in a shoestring budget, and so you see the setup.
It wasn't even our shoes.
We've got Kate and Kayhow, and then me, and we're kind of in a formation. I was watching The Last Leg. Now that's Channel 4 in the UK, but they produced it. But Adam Hills is in Australia at home in Melbourne, so he's doing it from his garage in Melbourne. Thingy Boy Brooker is in Huddersfield, doing it from a corner of one of his rooms. And Josh Widdicombe's doing it from his loft, which is currently getting done up. So he has to use one of those false backgrounds to cover up the background.
Yeah.
And they look exactly the same as us on the screen. 1, 2, 3. So we've got no production costs, and they have a massive budget, and we look the same. God bless the internet.
Yeah. You too could be a big star for nothing. Won't cost you a thing. You look just as good as the guy who's making a big bucks.
Exactly.
Someone just said, Glenn, look that up. But Glenn is not on the show tonight.
I'm sorry, there will be no visit. There will be no visit from Glenn tonight. He'll be so happy to know that he's been missed. He had a CFS. He has CFS training tonight. So, yeah.
Should I do an honorary bling for Glenn?
Yeah,
bling for Glenn.
Glenn. So when you come back, we'll see you again next week.
And it's Alex Brooker. Alex and Josh Widdicombe, Adam Hills.
Widdicombe. Yeah.
Fabulous. So that is The Last Leg. And they've got exactly the same production as us. Yay.
Yes, but the funny thing is, Adam has to do it from his garage, and it's in Melbourne, and it's like 7:00 in the morning when they start, and he is freezing. And he's got the neighbours riding past on the bikes and stuff.
Fantastic.
But do they have someone walking in and getting music? No, they don't.
No.
So
No.
Rod, speaking of Glenn, Rod's just said, no, Glenn, that's it, I'm out of here. Rod,
are you kidding? He's loving being the star of this show.
Rod, we're like this is the Three Stuff Mums viral edition. There is no mention of Glenn.
Yeah, I know. I'm like, get your own show. What the hell's wrong with you? I'm with you 24 hours a day. The 1 hour I'm not, you got to show up. What is wrong with that picture?
Exactly.
No, Kay, how have you got any bingeables for us tonight?
No. Well, I kind of do.
Hey, just like, no, I haven't got any Isovations. I haven't got anything.
No, I got nothing. I'm so terribly unprepared. We're so professional. Don't try this at home. Actually, you have to because we can't go anywhere. But no, I'm currently juggling like 3 or 4 books as I normally do, and I am currently one of the books I'm reading. I'm sort of halfway through it. Or I've read through the whole thing really quickly, but I'm studying it, doing it again. Is a book by a man called Charles Duhigg, and it's called The Power of Habit. And what that is it talks about how habits are formed and how you can break habits, and that it's just simply a pattern that you develop. That if you interrupt that pattern consciously, you should be able to, over a period of time, change your habits. Because habits are neither good nor bad. They're either one. They're just repeated actions on your part, whether it's a bad one, like every day at 3:00, I gotta have a piece of cake. That's a bad habit. But a good habit is that every day.
I don't know if that is a bad habit. Is it, Kay? How?
Well, it is for me. I'm diabetic. But you know what I mean? I mean, there's certain things that you can, so it's controllable. People feel they're sort of at the mercy of their habits. But in fact, science has discovered that there's a pattern to how they develop. So it's an interesting read. So,
And what's it called again? Sorry?
The Power of Habit.
The Power of Habit.
The Power of Habit. Why we do what we do and how to change. So it's an interesting book.
Nice. Well, I've got 2 bingeables tonight. One of them is a TED Talk. So I don't know if you guys know about TED Talks, but they're technology, education,
entertainment.
Technology, entertainment, design. TED Talks. Anyway, they're all like a lecture series. And I watched one from Kevin Bacon, and apparently he has got a charity that's called the 6 Degrees of Kevin Bacon, and he goes into the whole thing about the game.
I love that game.
6 Degrees of Kevin Bacon game. So that was a good TED Talk to watch. Just look up Kevin Bacon TED Talk. And the other one that I have to recommend, cannot rate it highly enough, is an electric blanket. Now, now I know that's not necessarily something that you can consume, but I picked up an electric blanket on the weekend, and it is heaven. So get onto that before it gets too much colder. That's my suggestions.
Yeah,
awesome.
Either that or sleep with your dog. Dogs are good for dogs are good for them. When our Labrador was alive, he would always sleep on my feet under the desk, and I'm telling you, that is like so warm. It's the best.
Oh, fantastic. All righty. So I think that's pretty much it for the show. Maggie, you wanted to mention something about a survey.
Yeah.
Oh, a survey. Yeah. Well, we want to bring you the best show possible. And we obviously...
You wouldn't know it from this one, but we do.
Which is why we've done a Survey Monkey survey. And the link for the survey is on the Three Stuff Mums Facebook page. Honestly, it will only take you 2 minutes. And it's
very short.
All just checkbox, like, yep, dup. But your feedback is really valuable to us because it will help us to mold the show and plan the format for the future. And your input, obviously, you're the guys who are watching it, so we want you to be able to get even more out of it. So please tell us in non-sweary words what you would like us to do. There is a free text box at the end where you can do that, but please, keep the language to a minimum.
Or not. But yeah. We don't care. We say that, but we're reading it going, fuck, what's this? So,
but please be. But if you are going to be using colourful language directed at us, we reserve every right to use that on the show.
Oh yeah, if you're
we
British,
will name and shame.
No guarantee of privacy.
We will name and shame.
No, but can people answer anonymously? That's not even a word, but whatever.
It doesn't collect your name. The only identification we ask for is your age group and your gender.
Yeah, and why are we? And we're sort of following in the footsteps of some pretty impressive people with this idea behind the survey. Do you want to just quickly mention that?
Okay, who knows about that?
I read a thing that Berry Gordy, who founded Tamla Motown Records, he used to work because they're in Detroit, which is Motor City, hence Motown. He worked with car manufacturers. Almost everybody does there. And they would have these focus groups, and they would go, they would talk to people, regular consumers, about what it was they liked about the cars, the design, whatever. And it helped them to design the best possible cars, and it gave them tremendous impact in sales. So he took that same concept when he opened Motown, and before people like before any song went out and was published and they invested in it to be produced and all that, they had focus groups, and they would have tapes of these guys, the Temptations. They had to go through the same process. These big acts all went through the same process, which is to present them whatever the song is, and the focus group would sit around and go, nah, not punchy enough, the words didn't move me, blah blah blah. And he would use that to then tighten up on that material. He would take their advice into how to do that. And so Motown Records had hit after hit after hit after hit because he listened to what people really wanted and what they really loved. And that's what he produced. And so he became a multimillionaire and created just a huge stable of huge stars in Motown. So, what we'd like to do is we'd like to emulate that and find out from, those of you that are listening and viewing this, what you like, what you don't like, what you'd like to see more of or less of, or if you go, meh. I mean, there's a category to go, meh, take it or leave
that's
it.
one of the categories.
So, be totally honest, because we have ideas for future shows. We're going to start something new next month as well. So, but we'd like to know that we're on the right track. And the only way we know is if you tell us, because, you are our Motown audience.
And through all that, all I could hear in my head was the intro to This Old Heart of Mine. Do, 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 do. This old heart of mine's been broke 1,000 times. It's time to break away.
Right. I was thinking, anyway.
Sugar pie, honey bunch. You know that I love you.
People are like going, okay, show's over.
It's going.
Yeah. Which one of them is Diana Ross? I take my hair off. I could be Diana Ross.
Oh, and I'm just reading the comments quickly. There was somebody. Kylie's just said her phone went flat, so she just had to jump on. Her laptop. What did I miss? And Rod, thank you very much for your help there. Rod said they just gave away $1 million. No, we didn't.
But you had to be present to win. See, that's why you got to be on here. You never know.
But we didn't give away $1 million because we haven't done our focus group yet.
And that's why we're on
fill in the survey, please.
Please fill in the survey.
All right, so we've got the survey. Please go and get that on the Facebook page, the Three Stuff Mums Facebook page. Fill out the survey. Kay, how is there anything else? The final parting words for the show tonight?
Nah, I got nothing.
And what about yourself, Maggie? Anything final that you would like to add?
Not really. We're doing good for a Tuesday, I think. On the week.
Maggie blew all her energy on that fabulous Mumble, and once more, well done on that. That was
Maggie,
fabulous.
other places you go. Absolutely.
Thank you.
Doctor Seuss would be so proud of you. Telling you.
Alrighty, well that's it for the Three Stuff Mums.
Scott in the hat.
What was that, Kay?
The Scott in the hat.
The Scott in the hat. Oh, fun. All right, next week we need a hat from you, Maggie. All right.
Well, I've got a hat, but I've got a wheat bag.
You look like you're in France doing that. It looks like a beret.
Hello, my little chickadees. We are now in France.
Yeah, they're going to come and take us away anytime now.
Yeah, Kate, give us a head start here. Come on.
First I wore a bra on my head. Now she's got a wheat bag on her head. I don't know what Kate's going to have next week. I don't want to know.
All right, I am going to wrap this up before it gets any crazier. Please join us again on Thursday and bring some bubbles if you'd like, because Thursday is our 10th show. We've made it to double figures. It's time to celebrate. So we'll be joining us again on Thursday night at 8 p.m. Adelaide time, and we would love to see you there. So thank you very much for joining us tonight, and we'll see you again soon. See you guys.
See ya.
Bye. Bye.
Bye.